Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Tippecanoe County. My name is Kim Harden, and I am a member of the Worship Committee. Our congregation is a community of seekers from many different paths. We seek ways to make the world a better place for all. We seek community in the midst of a pandemic, so we hold services virtually and have coffee and conversation following our services in the same Zoom room. Our religious exploration classes begin at noon in the same Zoom room. And this morning we're exploring what it means that we are now seeking our next settled minister. If you're joining us for the first time this morning, welcome. We're glad you're here, all of you. Let us light our chalice. A Flame to Light Our Path by Deborah Burrell. Fire consumes and casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, our fears for the future, and our worries about today. May it light for us a path of joy and peace. Our congregation is joined together by covenant rather than by creed. Each week we recite the words of our covenant, and I invite you to join in saying those now. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
I've been asked to share why I support the church. I've given this some thought. What would happen if this church closed? Where would I go? And that has caused me some sadness, because I would miss the people here. I miss the education that I get. I miss the support that I receive here. This feels like a beacon, a safe haven in this conservative community, and I would miss it terribly. So that's why I support this church.
Please join in singing hymn number 38, Morning Has Broken.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the first morning, born of the one light, even saw play, praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Rosemary, and I am your interim minister. And it has been my privilege and honor to serve this congregation in West Lafayette, Indiana. The search process is underway, and your search committee is doing a wonderful job. They have asked me to give just a couple of brief comments regarding this process. Both your congregation, UUCTC, and myself are going into search starting January 1st. It's a fairly complex process, a matching process. In our denomination, Unitarian Universalists, the idea is that there is a good match between the congregation and the minister, that the skills and talents and attributes and personality of the minister will be a good fit, a good match for the needs and the personality and character of the congregation, and that you'll be able to do wonderful work together. That is why the process does take a little bit of time, and there is a lot of effort put into the process. Your time, money, talents, it takes up a lot of volunteers, and this process is very important. I would like to encourage you strongly, if you have not done so, to do the congregational survey. As a minister in search, I will be looking at the percentage of the folks that participated in the congregational survey. It will give me an idea as to the buy-in and the of the congregation, the buy-in and interest of the congregation into the affairs of the congregation, and it will sway my decision as to where I might apply for work. So if you have not already done so, please fill out the congregational survey. It will help the search committee a lot in their quest to find the best match for this congregation, UUCTC. I'm excited for you. I think this is a wonderful opportunity for you to move forward and grow into what you can and need to become. Thank you.
I'm Barney Dunning, and I'm chair of the Ministerial Search Committee. My job this morning is to introduce you to the search process, tell you where we are right now, and what are the next steps. The committee has been hard at work since the beginning of the summer, and we've made a lot of progress. Much of the work we have done so far is organizational, setting a budget, having a retreat with our UUA transitions coach, that sort of thing. Now we're at the point of the search process where we're gathering information from you, the members and friends of our congregation. We have a congregational survey that is available for you to fill out, and you will hear more about that in the next few minutes. In the next month or so, we will hold a series of informal meetings with congregants and focus groups in which you can tell us what you want prospective ministers to know about our church. Again, more information on that in a few minutes. Together with documents and reports that we're putting together, we will put all of this information on a website that prospective ministers will be able to read during December. We'll get the initial list of people interested in our position on January 2nd. Next comes phone interviews, reference checking, the normal steps that you have in a search process. We'll have a series of visits with up to 4 candidates. In February and March, these will all be done online and will include watching a service at a nearby UU church. Finally, we will announce our candidate to be your minister in early April and arrange for that person to visit with us for a week. If everything comes together and the congregation votes to approve the selection, our new minister will start with us next August. To explain more about the congregational survey, here is Brent Jessic.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Brent Jessic, and I'm also a member of the search committee and have volunteered to say a few words about our congregational survey. As many of you know, about 3 weeks ago, we deployed a survey developed based on a template that was provided by the UUA. As a quick aside, special thanks to my colleagues Suzanne McConville and Stephen David for helping to develop and deploy the survey. As the UUA Settlement Handbook notes, the survey offers a real opportunity for the congregation to move toward a different future with a new minister, and that's an aim that we embrace wholeheartedly. And many of you have responded to the survey. Thank you so much. To date, we have 56 survey responses and counting. Who have we heard from so far? 2 quick observations. First, we have the largest number of respondents from the 60 to 69-year-old category. That's 15 responses. And those 80 years and older, we have 13 responses. Further, 93% of our survey respondents are older than 40, and we only have 4 respondents in the 30 to 39 range, and no responses from the under 30 group. So a huge thanks to our older congregants for showing up in big numbers, but we also need to hear from you younger folks too. Second, our members represent about 85% of the respondents, but I think it's worth underscoring that we welcome and need input from our friends and visitors too, so please consider responding even if you are not a member. I'm sure you're curious, what do the results look like so far? You may notice that the survey is considerably about us. It aims to paint a picture of the congregation, including what people think are or should be the core functions of the church and where people want to see us go. So here's a few teasers based on some preliminary analysis. First of all, who are we? According to respondents, we are interesting, we're free-thinking, warm, friendly, congenial, intelligent, caring, considerate, open-minded, and sociable. Just to highlight a few keywords. In short, we're pretty incredible. It's really nice to hear it. We're also a community. Over and over again, we are described as a family, as welcoming, as open, and we are viewed by many as collectively providing a deep sense of love. We're also largely defined by our shared values and commitments. People are committed to living in the spirit of our covenant, as one response summarized. More specifically, we're tolerant. We're committed to diversity and inclusion, and open and accepting toward people of all types and beliefs. So what are some of the core functions of our church? Looking at the survey data, we find that our church is frequently perceived to provide a safe space for people to be who they are. We provide spiritual learning and growth, all the way from the youth and children to adults. We are deeply committed to social justice. And we're also perceived to serve and be a liberal voice in our wider community. As one respondent noted, we are a beacon of liberalism in a sea of conservative evangelicalism. And finally, what kind of development would people like to see? So far, a few prevalent themes. People want to see the congregation grow, both in terms of expanding the membership, but also diversifying it, welcoming in people from different racial and ethnic groups, bringing in more Purdue students, and bringing in and accepting people with contrasting spiritual beliefs. People are looking for an effective leader who can continue to build leadership capacity in the church. And people are also motivated by our values. They want to see us continue to reach out to and serve the local community. So this brief overview provides a very small window into the survey results, and we still need to hear from more of you. The UUA recommends at least 60% response rate from our members, and right now we're at about 40%. So we want to ask all of you to help us get to that magic 60% or higher. So please respond by Friday, October 2. If you're still looking for the survey, you can find it, link on the website, on Facebook, on email, or just contact one of us for more information. Your input will help us create questions for the cottage meetings and focus groups, which we'll talk about in just a moment. And just as importantly, a summary of our results will be shared with the congregation and also included in our document packet as a part of the search. A quick reminder that the survey does not ask for identifying information, and I'm the only member of the search committee who's working with raw data. If anyone would like to fill out a paper copy, please let us know and we'd be more than happy to assist. Thanks again for your thoughtful input. We greatly appreciate your feedback and look forward to further summarizing and sharing our results with you.
When we search, we don't know what we will find. Let us open our hearts to the blessings that are in our lives, including this congregation, this church. Please share of your resources to keep the light burning during our search.
Hi, I'm Suzanne McConville, and I'm part of the search committee. Our committee's goal is to find a minister who will guide the congregation in the direction we want to go. The survey gathers a lot of information about this direction, and it serves as a prelude for cottage meetings and focus groups that are the next step in our process. Cottage meetings provide an opportunity for people to come to a group conversation in order to share their ideas and build on what others say. Our focus as a search team will be to gain an understanding of the congregation's collective wishes so we can make a decision on your behalf. The topics for discussion will be broad. Why do you attend this church? What makes a Sunday service meaningful for you? What qualities are important to you in a minister? You might consider the duties and tasks of a minister: leading worship, officiating rites of passage, providing pastoral care and presence, encouraging spiritual development, witnessing to social justice in the public square, leading administration, pursuing personal renewal and professional development, serving the larger Unitarian Universalist faith, and leading the faith into the future. Please come so you can discuss these and other important questions. Your opinions matter. In previous years, cottage meetings could be held in people's homes. This year, they'll be held on Zoom for the most part. They may be held as breakout rooms like we do during coffee hour. We hope to offer a variety of times and formats so everyone can participate. Stay tuned for more information. Focus groups are different from cottage meetings in that they are targeted at specific groups within the congregation, whether they be committees or general groups such as parents or youth or elders. The discussion will bring forth perspectives, needs, and hopes of the particular groups. Since some groups or committees are small, we'll combine 2 or 3 of these groups of similar interests. These will also be held on Zoom for the most part. You can help us right now, though, by answering one question for us. Put your answers in the chat, and Kim will put them in a word art app for all to see by the end of the service. If you could snap your fingers, what is your dream for the church for the next 5 years? Make your answers brief, just a word or short phrase. Please join us in the ministerial search process. Join us in cottage meetings and focus groups. It takes a whole congregation to find the right minister. Thank you.
I am Stephen David, and I am a member of the search committee. I'm going to talk to you about beyond categorical thinking. Now, this is a neat way of taking a fresh but serious look at what is normal and traditional about many things. Now, from its very beginning in our search for a settled minister, we have followed procedures organized to fit into a system that is administered by the UUA. Our next event is a recommended practice, and the search committee sees much merit in implementing it. This event is a workshop titled Beyond Categorical Thinking, and it will be conducted by a UUA facilitator. The workshop will be conducted online and will involve 2 90-minute breakout sessions, a sermon in the Sunday service, and an exclusive session with the search committee. The workshop is scheduled for somewhere around Friday, Saturday, October 23rd, 24th. We are still negotiating times and finer details, and will communicate the exact details a little later in the month. Beyond Categorical Thinking Workshop is an anti-oppression training program. It is a congregation-wide workshop with special emphasis on leadership. We urge all in our congregational community to attend and to participate. This program is designed to help congregations in the ministerial search process. It involves issues around race and ethnicity, gender and gender identity, visible and invisible disabilities and health concerns, and sexual orientation. Now, our familiarity with these topics and themes may in some instances lower the priority of the workshop. But we seriously believe there is always much to learn when we rethink and exchange thoughts and understandings over issues of concern. Therefore, please make every effort to attend these workshops. The anti-oppression focus does not imply the prevalence of oppression of any sort in our community, but acknowledges the possibility of its existence. We know from our grappling with matters of social justice that no element of society stands unrelated to oppressive tendencies. And oppressive tendencies find new ways of expression despite our struggle. Therefore, this workshop addresses ongoing struggles and seeks to highlight the responsibility of congregational leaders to be mindful of personal, implicit, and overt biases, and especially during the interim period to take active steps to counter systemic and personal biases. We agree with the UUA that completing this program sends a message to all members and potential ministers that we are committed to social equality and emancipation. And we are always ready to learn. Moreover, it also signals our preparedness to look towards positive change in ourselves and in our congregation. Finally, while the search committee has specific responsibilities on the congregation's behalf, we are all individually and collectively searching for the next settled minister. So we hope as in the search committee at the moment, that we can all feel the excitement, expectation, and exuberance. A new chapter awaits us all. Thank you.
Please join in singing hymn 1064, Our Blue Boat Home.
Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in a beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home.
Good morning. I'm Kim Smith. I'm going to begin by going over a little bit of UU history. September 30th marks the 250th anniversary of John Murray's first sermon in the United States. You may be wondering, who is John Murray? Well, John Murray is the minister credited with founding Universalism in America in 1770. Universalists believe that all will be saved and is one of the cornerstones of the Unitarian Universalist faith. In 1770, John Murray had no intentions to continue preaching and set sail from Britain to America, where he became shipwrecked in New Jersey. While on shore, John Murray made an agreement with Thomas Potter to deliver the sermon at Potter's meeting house if he was still shipwrecked on Sunday. Once Murray finished his sermon, the ship miraculously was able to sail. John Murray's Universalism was a welcome inspiration. He has been quoted saying, "You may possess only a small light, but uncover it, let it shine. Use it in order to bring more light and understanding to the hearts and minds of men and women. Do not preach as to deepen theological despair. Give them not hell, but hope and courage." End quote. To further explain Universalism, John Burns writes about Universalists in the book, A Chosen Faith, quote, "We are challenged to reach out to all sorts and conditions of people, to be open to the individual character of all human religious experiences," end quote. It is our hope that the minister destined for our congregation will come upon our shore. It is with this spirit that we search for a settled minister. We want the minister we call to guide us individually and collectively on our spiritual journey, to help us be a brighter beacon of light for each other and the wider community. We are not simply looking for some minister that can check some boxes off a list. Instead, we need someone who will inspire and challenge us to be our best selves. A minister role is like that of a coach who can motivate a team to achieve more together than they can achieve individually. Therefore, it is more important that the minister is open to a vastness of religious experiences than have a certain religious belief. Rest assured, UUA credential ministers go through a rigorous education and obtain ministerial experiences prior to obtaining fellowship with the UUA. The search process is not the search committee's work alone. We need everyone's participation. That is why it is vital for our members and friends to complete the congregational survey, attend cottage and focus group meetings, and let the search committee know what is on your mind to help us find the best candidate for our congregation. The search committee must be in tune with the congregational culture, needs, and aspirations for the future. Based on all of this, we will work to interview ministers and present a settled minister candidate to the congregation in May 2021. During May Candidating Week, you will have time to meet the ministerial candidate, and we will have a congregational vote on whether to call them as our settled minister. While we have so much to look forward to, our work in the interim is not done. It is important that we do not neglect the present time while we look forward to the future. We have a wonderful year remaining of Reverend Rosemary's interim ministry. Furthermore, 2020 has been a challenging year, and the need for our church community is as important as ever. We have all heard the phrase, the fierce urgency of now. Well, now is the time to strengthen our care for each other by reaching out to connect. Now is the time to deepen our support for people in the wider community through social justice activities and Change for Change. Now is the time to strengthen our resolve to stand up for racial justice. I am happy to report that we are actively making progress in all of these areas. Although we are meeting virtually, the work of this church goes on. We need each of us to carry on the mission of the congregation and help sustain a dynamic church community. In fact, participating in the work of this congregation is a form of spiritual practice in and of itself. The work we do now will enhance both congregational life and lay the foundation for a successful settled ministry. On behalf of the search committee, I invite you to enter a time of reflection, discernment, and hope for the future as we begin this journey together to call a settled minister. And in the words of our 2021 stewardship campaign, let's keep our flame burning. Thank you.
Let us sing together hymn 1020, Wa Ya Ya.
Good morning, everyone. This song is number 1020 in our Teal hymn books. It's titled Wo Ya Ya. We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know we've been, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will.
We will now extinguish our chalice. The chalice lit among us is a beacon. Adapted from Deborah Falk. The chalice we now extinguish remains a beacon of hope in a world in crisis, a beacon of possibility made manifest in community, a beacon of warmth through our interconnections, a beacon of light illuminating our shared wisdom, a beacon of connection by our being together. May it ever stay lit in our hearts and minds.
This is a lap dulcimer that my brother made from a kit many years ago. I brought it with me to Indiana about 35 years ago when I came. I always was going to learn how to play it, and pandemics being good for those was gonna projects. I finally pulled it out and noodled around on it a little bit. There's a really pretty Irish song called Bridget O'Malley, and I recorded the song on the lap dulcimer, backed myself up a little bit on guitar, a little bit of singing, and then I put the recording to a series of slides that Addie took when we were in Scotland a couple years ago. So, instruments Appalachian, song is Irish, and the photos are from Scotland. Enjoy!
Bridget O'Malley, you've left my heart shaken with a hopeless desolation. I'd have you